Hi, welcome to the Diane Ingram Show. I'm your host, life coach Diane Ingram. Today we're going to be speaking with Donna Pagliaro, wife, mother, business owner. And Donna wants to talk about getting from intention to execution. And what she means about that is she intends to do things, but somehow between the intention and getting the job done, things break down. So I'm going to be talking with her about what might be in the way of that. What gets in the way for you when you have an idea of something you want to do, but somehow you just don't get to the actions you need to take in order to make it happen? A lot of times we have distractions in our life, lots of pulls on our attention. There's so much coming at us all the time. If we're parents, we have children who are often involved in school activities or sports, and that oftentimes dominates our schedule. So one of the things is to think about what is a project that would enhance our lives if we completed it? In Donna's case, it's her closet. And Donna goes to her closet at least probably 2 or 3 times a day. So every time she goes to her closet, she's going, I still haven't cleaned the closet. She's feeling overwhelmed by the clutter in there. I think a lot of us that happens too. We bring in new clothes, new items, and we don't let go of the old ones. Sometimes it's a favorite collection of t-shirts. I'm a runner, and so when I used to run in races in New York City, I collected all the t-shirts. They were great. They'd have little dancing bagels on them for the bagel run. The frostbite run had little dancing, icicles. So they were really fun, and I hated to get rid of them. But I ended up with this huge stack of t-shirts. We often have sentimental attachment to things, and that's what is hard for us to let go of. But getting back to intention and execution. So what gets in your way of making things happen that you want to have happen? Something like cleaning a cluttered closet is really important, especially if we're looking at it 3 times a day. Sometimes it feels like it's not going to be any fun to do it. It's finding time in your schedule. It's deciding what is it you want to do, getting really clear on what it is, and making it a singular project. Maybe there's more in your house that you want to clean up beyond the closet. But taking the closet, biting off one piece at a time, will allow us to feel successful in that one area, which will then give us energy and motivation to move to the other areas of our house. Another thing that's important when we're going to execute a project is to think about what might come from us completing that project. In the case of Donna, which we'll talk about in a little while, she might find clarity by looking in her closet and seeing it straightened up. Sometimes we feel a freedom from just all the stuff. Sometimes we feel pride and accomplishment. Look at that. In the case of a clothes closet, it's easier to find out what you want to wear when you're not digging through all the stuff you don't want to wear. So cluing in to what are those qualities that come from us completing a project give us the energy and motivation to make it happen. Stay tuned as I talk with Donna and clue in closer to find out ways that might help you in going from intention to execution. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I'm Diane Ingram, your host, and today I'm with Donna Pagliaro, wife, mother, businesswoman, and the list goes on and on. Welcome, Donna. It's nice to be with
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, nice to be with you. So we talked a little bit before we met today, and we talked about one of the things that trips you up a little bit, and it was getting from intention to execution. And you want to describe that a little better?
Yeah, I feel like in my life I have these great grandiose plans, and I can write it all down and get it out of my head and get it onto paper, but I can't actually get to the next step of getting it done. And I find that, and so often I just lose so many opportunities because just don't get it done.
So what do you think gets in the way of that? Do you have any ideas?
I'm thinking, making the commitment, just sticking to the commitment. I do. I have so much on my plate that at the end of the night I get tired. I come up with a zillion and one excuses. Maybe my list is too long. I don't really know, Diane.
Okay, so let's talk about it. One of the things that happens is there's on our list are not only things we want to do, but there's a lot of things we think we should do. So that's one of the first places to look. When you look at your list, would you say that the things on the list are things that are aligned with what your heart is saying, wow, I really want to do this, and you're connected to it? Or do you think it's things, yeah, if I'm a good mom, I'll do this. If I'm a good wife, a good businesswoman, I need to do these things? Because there's a very different energy we approach things with if it's a should instead of a want to.
Well, when it comes to something like, getting rid of clothes that I've had in my closet for the last 20 years, I can't honestly say, oh, it's something I really, my heart, it speaks to my heart.
Yeah.
If it came to go out and ride a horse and start taking horseback riding lessons again, that might speak to my heart.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I can't keep things in my closet for 20 years. So
Okay.
it's, you know what I mean, right? It's like, do I really want to clean my closet out and throw away 90 of the 100 pair of shoes that I should throw away? Not really, but yeah.
So is the resistance, do you think, is it letting go of things in your closet? Or do you think the resistance is you'd rather be doing something else?
I think a complete combination.
Okay.
I think there are definitely things in my closet that I hang on to because it associates a memory. But that's kind of, the memory is in my head with or without the shirt I wore to that
Okay,
event.
that's a very good realization, because a lot of us save things and really have a lot of clutter in our house because it has memories attached to it, and that's absolutely true.
Right.
When we had Joan on the program last time, she was talking about her attic, and she was talking about Christmas ornaments and holding on to them because they had so many memories, and particularly things like Christmas ornaments, but also clothing has memory attached to it.
Right.
So I suggested that she keep one or two or a few of those things and then let go, and that's what, when I'm working with other people who have issues of feeling like they've got too much clutter, can you keep one particular thing that reminds you of a certain time of your life or a certain event without having to keep, 5 or 6 different things?
Yeah, I think that's fine. The thing is that, over the course of 47 years, I've accumulated a lot of ones from a lot of different memories in my life. But at this point, if I don't look at it for 2 years, I understand. So that's the one part of it. The other part of it is, there's 1,001 things I'd rather be doing.
Okay.
However, I'm so tormented by the clutter in my life.
So let's talk about that for a minute. So what is the torment? What does that feel like to have clutter in your life?
How do I put it to words? Was
That's good. Yeah, I get it.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that every time you look in your closet?
Yeah, and the other part of it is like disappointment, because I put that on my schedule of things to do, my list of things to do at least 100 times, and when I don't get it done, it's like, I've disappointed myself again.
I'm so glad you bring that up, because that's absolutely right. When we say we're going to do something and we don't do it, we really let ourselves down and we disappoint ourselves. So we kind of set ourselves up to feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So what do? Decide you're not going to make a commitment to do anything?
No, you prioritize. That's one thing, which we'll talk about. And you look at your list, and if it's a big should that really doesn't benefit your life in any other way than you feel like you'd be a good mom or a good wife or a good businesswoman, then knock it off your list. At least put it at the bottom. So that's another thing.
Okay.
So really call your list, hone it down to the things that really you think are going to impact your life in a way that's going to make you feel better, increase your well-being. So can we talk about your closet?
Sure.
All right, so let's start with your closet. So I imagine, how often would you say you go into your closet every day?
2 times a day.
2 times a day. So every time you go, so twice a day, you're opening a door to your closet. You have a door? Mm-hmm. Opening a door to your closet and looking in. And I'm wondering how you feel when you see that closet.
Yeah, it's funny because I think the closet is simply a metaphor for other rooms in my house.
Absolutely,
too.
absolutely.
So it's not just those 2 times a day. It's, like when I open up my pantry, I'm like, oh. So we'll use my closet as the metaphor, but
Okay,
I know that
so when
there's
you
lots
go,
of different areas.
Okay, and when you do that, what happens?
I'm glad there's a door on my closet because I walk out and shut it.
But right before that, it looked like your energy just really dropped.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering
it
what
does.
you're thinking when that happens.
I feel disappointed, and then I feel like it's a burden on my shoulder, and I feel like it's another thing to do, and then I feel like, when am I going to get it done? I'm kind of stuck. I feel a little stuck.
And so I'm wondering if after you've opened a number of pantries and closets during the day, if you're able to get off the couch, because it sounds like
I'm telling you, reality TV becomes really good at night. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's the big escape,
Yeah, exactly. And so many people, we've all done it.
Right.
Avoided things that we have to do because it's just too much. But what we don't pay attention to is the fact that it's still kind of sitting on our shoulder. And so we're still kind of watching that TV, numbing out a little bit, which is what TV does for us. But still in the back of our mind or sitting on our shoulders are these things we need to do. And so we feel bad about ourselves, we feel disappointed, and it becomes this vicious cycle. And we wonder why we don't have any energy and why we're not feeling good.
Right.
So can you clue into how good it would feel to open that closet door and like what you saw? How would that make you feel, do you think?
I can, and I have experienced little times in my life where I realized there was something that I couldn't tackle on my own. So I would have a friend or someone I'm paying to come and help me. And I do know that feeling when it's done.
What is it? Can you describe it?
And it's just, you feel free, open, clear. You can think. I feel like my sitting down to watch TV at night then becomes a reward, not an escape.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I keep.
So before we go from that, I want you to just sit in that for a minute.
Okay.
So you said clear, open. What else did you say? Clear, open,
free.
Free.
Free is a great word.
So
free
just
is a great
kind of
feeling.
breathe that in for a minute and just feel what that feels like to be clear, open, and free. Right? Yeah. So isn't it worth it to look in your closet or to get help and to get your closet how you want it to be? You get to feel clear, open, and free. What an amazing feeling that is. So when we can clue into those feelings and those states of being that are going to come by us accomplishing a certain task, it motivates us to do it. And it might be helpful to actually write it down or put it on big cards, clear, open, free, to breathe it in before we start the task. But to be reminded of what's going to come when we actually complete the task.
How do you stay in that moment, though? I think that's the problem, because I can sit here and say that with you when we talk
Right.
about going from intention to execution. So my intention comes from a place of, I know how good this will feel when this is done. And yet something happens between intention and execution, like staying in that moment of clear, free, open.
Well, you know what? I actually want you to explore that. I want you to explore how you might stay in that place or how you might just keep that vision. And once again, a suggestion might be, tack index cards up on your closet door. Clear, open, free, that remind you of what you're going to experience after you complete that task. Maybe even while you're doing it, because you're realizing it's coming. It's coming. Each time I pull something out of that closet, I'm feeling a little more clear, a little more open, a little more free.
All right. I can give it a go.
Yeah. I mean, I think that because everything we do, we're going for a state of being. Like if you mentioned horseback riding. What does horseback riding bring to you as far as states of being? How does it make you feel?
I should have been born an Indian. I should have been on horseback all the time.
So
I love it.
Okay, you love it. What do you love about it?
The feeling of freedom. I don't know. I don't know how to even explain the feeling.
Yeah, I wonder if it makes you feel clear, open, and free.
Probably.
Yeah. So that's why you horseback ride. I mean, everything we do, we're going for a state of being underneath everything we do. So when we start looking underneath everything we do, we say, why do I like this so much? And we realize what qualities it brings to us, then we could start designing our life to bring those qualities to us. So it sounds like clear, open, and free are 3 qualities that are really important to you. Mm-hmm. So back to your closet. You can also say to yourself, well, if I clear up my closet, I can give myself the gift of a day of horseback riding, or an hour, or however much time. But so that's another thing, is like a little incentive thing. And then I'll get to really experience being free. But are you willing to commit to working on your closet between now and you said you would come back in a month and we could check back in with you? Are you willing to commit to working on that? And what do you think you need? Do you think you need to bring in someone to help you do that?
For my closet, I could probably do it myself.
Okay.
Honestly, I get a little bit afraid to make a commitment. It's about anything right now, but
we're just the small one piece, just one closet. Mm-hmm. And forget about the other pieces. It's really important to focus on one thing and to feel success in one area, because that success is going to allow you to move on to the pantry or whatever's next. So are you willing to commit to your closet? If you come back in a month and you haven't been 100% successful, that's going to be helpful for the audience also, and that's going to be helpful for you because we'll talk about what got in your way.
Okay.
But are you willing to commit to...
I'm willing to commit to give it my best try.
Okay,
ever.
okay, fine. So once again, clear, open, and free, that's the thing to focus on, and maybe it's putting index cards on the door, whatever it is.
Okay.
And the other piece is... each time you take something out, then you'll experience more of that. But I was just thinking of another piece, and that is, oftentimes when we do these things, if we create a ritual around it, it helps us to have more fun while we're doing it. So what about putting on some music? What about, if it's not too cold a day, opening the windows and getting some fresh air, cranking the music up if you're by yourself or not, but telling the family, look, I need to be left alone for the next hour, and giving yourself an hour, and sometimes making it a game. Sometimes making it a game. In an hour, I'm going to have this done, and let me just not labor over decisions. If I haven't worn it in the past, year, 2 years, out it goes.
Deal.
So there's all kinds of little tricks we can play for ourselves.
Okay.
So we've talked about putting clear, open, and free on the door to remind you what states of being are going to happen each time you take one more thing out of the closet.
Okay.
And we've also talked about music, making it a fun time. So we'll see what you come up with. All right?
Okay.
It's been a pleasure being with you, Donna. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank
and
you.
I look forward to hearing what happens, no matter what happens. All right?
Okay.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Welcome back. One of the things we talked about with Donna today was taking the qualities, the well-being qualities that are going to come out of her cleaning up her closet and really honing in on those. I suggested she take some index cards, which I always have around the house, and write them down. I took her 3 words that she came up with today: clear, open, and free. I put a little quick design on it, but you can if you want, if you're artistic or even just playing, you can put a design on them to make them more fun and more attractive to your eye. And I suggested that she hang these words on her closet door to remind her of the qualities that are going to come from her accomplishing her task. As I said before, when we clue in on what qualities are going to come for us by accomplishing our task, it motivates us because, wow, I'm going to be free, I'm going to feel free, I'm going to have some clarity in my life, and when I look in my closet, clarity about what I want to pick out and wear, and I'm going to feel open and just kind of, So those are things that make cleaning that closet worth going for. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to hone in on what comes from the activities we do. Underneath everything we do are these qualities that we're going for. You may enjoy horseback riding, as Donna talked about. And what she gets from horseback riding is this sense of freedom. I enjoy dancing. I also get a sense of freedom from dancing. I like to go running. What I get from running is a sense of feeling healthy and strong. There's a sense of strength. There's a sense of feeling good about myself because I'm taking care of myself. You may like to play sports. What are the qualities that come out of that? Maybe you like to knit. What comes out of that? I know for my sister-in-law, she says it keeps her sane to knit. But I think it goes a little deeper than that. I think she gets relaxation and calm. Because whenever she's sitting around knitting, she just calms down and settles into herself. So everything we do has these qualities that come out of it. We're going for those states of being. When you can clue in on what qualities are important to you, you can actually say, wow, freedom's really important to me. How can I experience freedom? You can brainstorm about ways to experience that quality in your life more often than you are currently doing. So you can actually create your life from looking at the well-being qualities that are important to you. And once you figure what they are, you put them up. You can put them on the dashboard of your car. You can hang them around your house. You can hang them on your computer. And they're reminders that these are the things that are important to give me the life that I want to be living, a more satisfying, fulfilling life. So try it. It's fun. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in today. We spoke with Donna Pagliaro about moving from intention to execution. How does this show up in your life? What gets in the way when you have an idea of what you want to do? What gets in the way between the intention of the idea and the execution? There's a whole area in there, a whole space. So look at your life and see what's there that gets in the way of that. Is it distractions? Is it you really didn't want to make that idea happen in the first place? Which sometimes that's true. And if that's true, then release yourself from it. Don't sit around feeling guilty that you didn't do something. That when you check in a little deeper in your heart, you realize you didn't really want to do it in the first place. So that's a great place to start, actually, is I have this idea. How much do I really want to accomplish this particular task or do this particular thing? Once you decide it's something that's really important, then check in with what qualities are going to come from it. And email me. My email's at the bottom of the screen and at the end of the show. I want to hear how this is working in your life. I'll read some of the emails on the show that I get from you. So please reach out to me and let me know. It's all helpful for each other, for all of us, to hear how each other are working with these things and making our lives more satisfying and fulfilling. If you'd like to be on the show, you can email me about that too and tell me what you'd like to talk about that would be helpful for other people. Thank you for tuning into the Diane Ingram Show. See you next time.